Bigger challenges for the Browns at quarterback moving forward. You've got Ben Roethlisberger coming up. Then you got Joe Burrow. You got a couple of games with both of them, couple of games with Lamar Jackson. What's the biggest concern with this defense? What do they need to do in order to hold the better quarterbacks in check?
Honestly, I think it's better coverage down the field, better coordination. We saw it against the Chargers, the coverage gaffes where Mike Williams is running and there's not a defensive player within 20 yards of him in any direction. Those are the things that cannot happen. I do trust that the pass rush is going to make an impact on these players, and especially against Cincinnati. I just watched them play the Detroit Lions, and Joe Burrow got pressured a lot by a Detroit team that doesn't have anywhere close to the talent that Cleveland does up front. So I think the pass rush, as long as they're consistent, will do things. You need to see the coordination in coverage. You need to see, like Greg Newsome last night, great pass from Teddy Bridgewater to Cortland Sutton, where Newsome is in perfect position, but he doesn't turn and find the ball. When you're playing against Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, you got to find that ball and make a play on it instead of letting the receiver dictate the action on that. So there's little things like that. The coverage worries me more than anything, and it's not necessarily a talent issue. I think Greg Newsome is doing really well. Denzel Ward, with his, again, he's banged up again. Greedy Williams, I'm not sure that I trust him just yet, but the ability is there for those guys to do it. It's just a case of all the players on the defensive backfield being in sync, in coordination, and playing well together at the same time. That's been a massive problem all season for the Browns, and if they don't get that straightened out, look, Joe Burrow. Again, it's tough to root for a guy in Cincinnati, but it's also really tough to not root for Joe Burrow. That guy's really, really good and does things the right way, the way that Cleveland would appreciate if he were in town. Look, they have the ability to do it, but again, and also the linebackers. Going forward, I think the linebackers do well. Going backwards into the sides, other than Malcolm Smith, who didn't play last night, they don't do that really well, so I want to see a little bit more out of the linebackers in coverage too, and I think that will help shore up a lot of things because I do think that the front is talented enough to make an impact and do what they need to do. Give me some back-end help, and I'll feel pretty good about this defense.
And again, those are all things that you would expect. The longer the guys play together, the better and more second nature they become. You don't want them thinking about it. You want them to just know, I need to be here. And I think that's what's missing at this point.
Yeah, and I think you saw a little bit of that last night with John Johnson playing closer to the line and dropping the other safeties, and Troy Hill as the slot corner playing a little bit more off and a little bit deeper than he normally does. That was a nice little adjustment by Joe Woods, and it seemed to work pretty well. Again, those two guys know each other well from playing together with the Rams. Now it's integrating with all the moving pieces and parts, and wouldn't it be great if they had the exact same secondary 2 weeks in a row? They have not had that yet. Let's get all these guys healthy and let them roll, and I think that will help too.